and welcome to the Homemade Podcast Sports. This is your host, J Pop. And welcome back to the Homemade Podcast Sports. This is your host, J Pops. Guys, today's date is September 28th. It is a Monday, of course. Also, we are days away from our big-time matchup with Alabama, in which I believe as of right now with the betting lines people I'm talking about, Alabama is a 17-point favorite. Me, I highly doubt that. I'm going to break down why I highly doubt that in this episode on the latest edition of the Homemade Podcast Sports. Once again, guys, I thank you all for tuning in. And, hey, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into it. On another note, too, guys, it's a beautiful day out here in Houston, Texas. All right? I don't know preferably where you guys live at. I know most of you guys may stay in Texas. You know, some of you guys may not. But as of right now, it's a beautiful day in Houston. Sunny, weather is kind of getting down to below 90 now. Woo. Man, it was pretty hot. But yes, it's a beautiful day out here. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump right on into it. So on this latest edition, I'm going to break down some things here. And you know, this is something that was heavily on my mind. And this was heavily on my mind last night. And I don't know why, but I'm starting to put two and two together. You guys can believe me or don't believe me, but I'm gonna break it down to you and give you some analysis on some things. All right, so guys, let's talk about it. Come on. So let's talk about what happened. All right. First off, it was a bad game overall offensively. All right, and it's no doubt about it that from Munn down to the receivers, it was just flat out inconsistency. All right, our running backs though are damn good. Our defense is solid. That's a solid goddamn defense. I love that defense, and I will not shy away from that. Although it was Vanderbilt, I don't care. Once again, this is a conference-only schedule. You're the number 10 team. Everybody's going to come at you. Once again, Mississippi State already showed what they can do. LSU showed the world that they are now vulnerable, in which I predicted. I said that. Anyways, moving along. So, what I was thinking of last night is why in the hell wasn't Damon Demas not playing? Why was Moose Muhammad not playing? And also our running back, Devin Anuche. You know, so it was one of those scratch the head moments. You know, you kind of sit on your house. You kind of sit on your couch and, of course, most of us were scratching our goddamn heads against that Vanderbilt game. I know you were because I was scratching my head as well. I could not figure it out. But anyways, it was one of those scratch the head moments, you know. So then it hits me. We play Alabama next week. Or this Saturday, you know. But we play Alabama this Saturday. So I want you guys to hear me out on this and just simply think about this. All right? So think about it. And this is coming from my gut feeling. This is coming from my gut feeling. Is Jimbo Fisher playing the I don't want to show my hand card because he knows that he has some raw talent that is waiting to be released? And when he releases it, it's going to shock some people. Once again, is Jimbo Fisher playing the I don't want to show my hand card? Is he? Is he playing that I know a lot of guys are going to be mad at me for this one. I don't want to show my hand right now. I don't. And you have coaches that'll do that. It's the first game. They're playing to like a lesser opponent. Mainly FCS is when they mostly do this, or mainly like some out of the group of 5 conference opponents, stuff like that. But is Jimbo Fisher playing the I don't want to show my hand card, man? All right. Think about that. Put that in your mind. Let that soak in for a minute, because I had to do that. Also, I heard somebody else say that. So I don't know. I'm not shining. Anyways, for whatever reason, I believe that Darryl Dickey knows something that he just simply didn't want to show. That he just simply didn't want Bama to see. And also, he played the wide receivers we had in the Vandy game because he felt that they would be enough. He felt that they would be enough to at least beat Vanderbilt. But we just didn't do it in a way that many of us expected. And I mean, when I say many of us, I'm not just talking about us fans. I'm talking about many of us. Many of the college football fans. College football analysis, stuff like that. We just didn't blow Vanderbilt out like everybody knew that we could. Do. We just didn't do that part. Which, once again, frustrated the hell out of me. Hell, you guys were upset. I'm upset with you. You guys aren't the only one. I talked about that in the last podcast. Hell yeah, I'm upset. I was expecting at least to beat Vanderbilt by at least 3 or 4 touchdowns. I was expecting at least 41 points. My predicted score was 41-3. That all went out the window when they scored 5 points. All right. So, I mean, hey, but it is what it is. 17-12, not pretty. Not pretty at all, man. Not pretty at all. But once again, I'm going to break some things down to you. That score still wasn't supposed to be 17 points. Jimbo Fisher knows that. And if you watch that press conference interview, Jimbo Fisher was mad. He was mad as hell. See, one thing about Jimbo Fisher ain't going to show anything. He ain't going to show the mad face. He ain't going to get outraged, none of that. But he was mad. He's disappointed. I can tell in his voice he was way disappointed. 3 turnovers? Come on, man. Stop that shit. That's something that we got to get cleaned up, fixed, ASAP. But he knows that. But anyways, going forward. Anyway, so, also, for the last several years, that's why I say, man, think about some stuff. I'm going to break down. Also, for the last several years against Bama, we have not been good defensively at all. So I asked myself, what would I rather have going into the Bama game, or even Auburn and LSU, for that matter, and now Mississippi State, for that matter? Offense or defense? In a long, hard decision, I actually picked defense. And I want you guys to hear me out on this. I actually picked defense. All right? And that's not to say that I don't want a better offense, but as I explained, I just firmly and strongly believe that Fisher and Dickey, Darryl Dickey, of course, who was the offense coordinator, is saving wide receiver Demas, wide receiver Muhammad, and running back Devin Anuche, and hell, even Spiller and Smith for a breakout performance next week. I firmly believe that. That's, like I say, that's coming from a gut feeling. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that. So you guys have to remember, Bama has owned us for almost 8 years now. All right? They've owned us for almost 8 years now. And this will be Fisher's 3rd straight year against Saban, in which I believe that Saban didn't even show all of his playbook in that last game against Missouri. He didn't show all of his playbook neither. Although they look phenomenal on offense, he did not show the entire playbook. That is not his style, and that is not his nature. He did not show us the whole playbook, and I know that shit. I know it. Once again, he looked good realistically, and he put up some style points. Okay? Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that how can Alabama or any other team defend what they've never seen on film? Think about how can they defend what they've never seen on film. Now, can they defend Kellen Mond? Hell yeah. They've seen him on film for 3-4 years now. All right, so I'll take that flat. Any time of day, I'll take that flat. They can defend Kellen Mond. That's fine. But once again, how can they defend what they cannot see? All right? They've never seen Demons. They've never seen Muhammad. They've never seen Anunche. How can you defend it? Even our wide receivers that just played now, they can't defend what they've never seen. Although our wide receivers in this game, it just was not a good game overall at all. All right, but anyways, moving along. So also, if Kellen Mond throws 1 or 2 quick screens out to Demas, listen to me. If he throws those out to Demas, man, you can bet your ass that he will break for about 15 to 20 yards easily, in my opinion. And there's also going to be a fact come game day. I know those Alabama defenders are going to be tough. Don't you get me wrong on that. But I'm going to break some things down to you on that one. They're going to be tough because they're going to bring the A game. The question is can we bring our A game too? All right. So once again, if he gets those quick screens out to the Demond Demons and let him catch that ball and at least establish himself foot-wise on the field and let people know, hey, I'm here, they can be in for a long day. Also, with not a 3, but 4-headed monster in the backfield, how are you going to know what running back can do what when they touch the ball? Huh? How are you going to know that? How are you going to know what running back does what when they touch the ball? Listen to me. If you've never seen all 4 of them play before, you haven't seen. Nobody in the SEC has seen Texas A&M ever play 3 running backs at the same time, let alone 4. This is something new. I'm bringing something to you guys. This is something new. How can you defend something that you ain't seen before? You haven't seen it yet. You don't know what they're establishing. Once again, we had about 189 rushing yards. That was just with 2 backs. We didn't use 3. We just used 2 running backs the entire game. Once again, we only punted the ball twice. All right? We only punted the ball twice. Moving along. Okay? Moving along. Also, if you do a zone read and that defender gets caught off guard, man, you can be looking at a long touchdown run or just a long run in general. Okay? So, see, the thing about it is this. Your game plan has to be so phenomenal come game day against an elite opponent to where you just simply don't show nothing on film, especially against Vanderbilt. You don't show anything. You don't show anything against Vanderbilt, who I still would never overlook, because you don't know what they're set. Because you don't know, you don't know that your second string players can at least play them and And not necessarily, go down to the wire, in which I was upset about. I was upset about that too. Then what do you think? What do you think an unknown group of 4 and 5-star guys are going to do when there's no film tape showing to their opponent? Think about that. What do you think those 4 and 5-star guys are going to do on the field when there's no film study for anybody to study right now? They can't study anything. I mean, we can study some things all day long. And I can tell you like this, Jalen Waddle, we're studying your ass. Question is, are we going to be able to hold him? That's going to be the challenge. Devontae Smith, we're studying your ass. The question is, are we going to be able to hold him? Other wide receivers on that Alabama team, like I say, once again, Nick Saban didn't show his whole playbook, nor did he show his whole roster. Because he knows he got a shitload of talent, especially at wide receiver, man, which they've been good for years up there at wide receiver. He's not going to show everything. Question is are you going to beat them at their own game? If they're not showing you nothing, then why would you show them something? You beat them at their own game. All right? Just think about that. So we're going to kind of get off a little bit, and I'm going to get into some stats and why I made that point defensively. Why I chose. So you got to think about this. You're either going to sacrifice your offense the first game or you're going to sacrifice your defense. Going up against Vanderbilt, I think I'll sacrifice the offense more than I would my defense. All right. We all seen what happens when your defense don't show up with the likes of Oklahoma going down, with the likes of LSU going down, and almost with the likes of University of Texas going down, which was a general shootout, 63-56. I'm sorry. Yeah, yes, it looks good, stylish, points at the end of the day, but I do not want to see a 63-56 contest by any means. Yeah, it'll put on a show. Don't get me wrong about that. But how many times have we seen Oklahoma put on a show, but then when they get to the playoffs, that shit goes right out the window because they don't have any defense to stop anybody, man. They don't. They don't have any defense to stop anybody. This is the shit that happens when you don't at least have some type of defense to stop something. When you don't have defense to stop something, man, you're going to get beat. You're going to get beat, people. How many times have we seen Auburn just have a ton of defense, lackluster offense, but go out there and win games against top-ranked opponents, man? How many times have we seen LSU do it? With defense, no damn well they have offensive talent, but, it was just some things clicking with them. They just weren't able to use it in those years, but it was the defense that kept them in a lot of games. So you at least have to sacrifice something going into the next game, and where that next opponent is an elite opponent. That's elite. All right? That opponent in the next game, that's a blue blood opponent. We didn't show any offensive firepower against Vanderbilt, and that's why we are the 17-point underdog right now. I get that. That's fine. But once again, if you don't show your hand, then imagine what you can do going into that game. Because I can tell you this right now, man. Those guys in that Alabama locker room probably already saying to themselves, oh, man, A&M ain't nothing. Hell, we've been whooping their ass for almost 8 years now. It ain't nothing but just another game to me. That's it. It ain't nothing but just another game. We're going to, be the next Alabama class to go out there and beat them again. So it's one of those, you overlook your opponent. I don't know. But anyways, going to get into this. So Defensively, this is where I say, I'd rather put my defense out there and risk them more than anything. So, total defense as of right now, and of course it's only one game, and it was Vandy, but it's still defensively. As of right now, Texas A&M has the number 6 defense, total defense overall. Have number 6 total defense overall. Number 48 offense, though. Yeah, I know that part. Number 48 offense, but we have the number 6 defense overall at the moment. Alabama, number 16. They have the number 16 total defense overall. Mizzou and Vandy are almost in the same category. It's like at the bottom of the SEC East. Alabama gave up 322 total yards. And, of course, a lot of guys are going to say, oh, that came to, second-team defense, all those, yards and those points, that 19 points came to the backups. So what? Shit. I mean, and Alabama is a legitimate team. Either on first team or second team, man. They're a legitimate team. So as of right now, I can tell you this. I know where Alabama is more vulnerable at. And they've been vulnerable at that position for at least maybe going on like 3 years now. They're cornerbacks. They're more vulnerable than anything at their corners, especially on the deep ball shots, in which I'm not asking for deep ball shots. But I would like to see at least 1 or 2. Take those deep ball shots. Like I told you before in one of the podcasts already, we have long, lengthy receivers to go up and make contested catches. And if they're wide open, man, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a very, very long day. So, once again, like I said, Alabama is more vulnerable in the deep ball shots. They're more vulnerable at cornerback more than anything. Anyways, keep on going. So now we're going to break down like the passing yards allowed. And I'm going to get into more detail, of what I'm telling you about. So as of right now, Texas A&M is number 8 in passing yards allowed. We have been so shitty in passing yards allowed for I don't know how many years to where it's just like, man, when are we ever going to get that fixed? When are we going to get that fixed? We only gave up 150 passing yards to Vanderbilt, and for whatever reason, people are saying that the freshman on Vanderbilt was playing his ass off. Man, he only got 150 passing yards. I'm not, whatever. But we're number 8 at the moment, passing yards given up. Let me keep scrolling here. Alabama is number 42 in passing yards allowed with 253 given up. They're ranked the number 42 right now. So you see what I'm getting at? I know where they've been more vulnerable than anything at, okay? Also, let me keep going. Our rush defense. But Alabama is first. And they're kind of getting back to what they used to do. Alabama is ranked 8 with rushing defense. Okay? That's fine. Ranked 8. Texas A&M is 19th in rushing defense. So, you guys have to understand that in order to be elite opponents, you have to have some type of defense somewhere that you can muster in there for at least some period of the game. With these years coming up when we played Alabama, man, our defense has not looked good. Although our offense hadn't looked all that good neither. But when we're in a defensive battle, we get our asses whooped. We've gotten our asses whooped time and time again, man. Time and time again. It's time to make a change on that. You have to. Playing against elite opponents, man, you have to challenge them defensively. You have to make them do things out of the ordinary. Okay, you have to make them do things out of the ordinary, man. You have to. So anyways, I just want to kind of give you that perspective. So anyways, man, let's move forward. So this is what I will say. I commend Demas, Muhammad, and Anuche for saying, okay, coach, I'm going to follow you, because when you listen as a person, then you're poised to be in a position that will go a long, long way. And that is a fact. That is a common fact. When you listen to certain things that you're supposed to listen to, or at least just hear people out and don't automatically make your opinion while they're talking, stuff like that, you're bound to go a long, long way, man. You're bound to go a long way, you know? So, I'm going to tell you like this. So if you didn't believe crap I was saying before, and I can tell you this, man, you better believe me now. Because there's something brewing in College Station at the moment. And I firmly believe it's an upset in week 2. If you didn't believe crap I was saying before, you better believe me now, because it's something down there brewing in College Station that I firmly believe in. I firmly believe in on it. And it's an upset. This upset here will ultimately make Jimbo Fisher's stock go way up. It will ultimately make Texas A&M as a team and as a whole come together and say, you know what? We can do this. Been knowing that we could do it. But it's just things weren't clicking right. But like I say, man, it's something brewing in College Station to where Jimbo Fisher knew when he recruited these 2 classes that are top 10, that it was going to be something that he was going to have to put together to go out and beat elite competition. All right? That's all I'm saying. So, also, look at here. This is what I do know. A&M is ranked 6, all right, overall in talent. And I say that with an emphasis. I say it with an emphasis for a reason. Now, did they show it against Vandy? Hell no. But once again, Fisher knows what talent he has, and that's why I said he's hiding something from Alabama, and we will find out on Saturday. He's hid something from Alabama, just like he hid something from Clemson in that first year he was here that we didn't know shit about. He's hiding something, man. I don't know what the hell it is, but he's hiding something. He's hiding something that he just really don't want nobody to see. And he knew with this game, if they didn't do what they were supposed to do, he was going to get a lot of criticism for it. He knew that. He was going to get a lot of criticism, man. Now, I will continue to take criticism as well, all day long. And hey, you guys are my audience, so I expect that. But I'm making a bold statement now. I promise you that A&M will look like the team that they're supposed to look like against Bama. And also, I promise you that new faces will be on the horizon in this game alone. As well as I can't wait to see the new look. I can't wait to see the look on some people's faces when a shock the world moment happens. I firmly believe in that. I can't wait to see the look on people's faces when a shock the world moment happens. They be like, God damn. I wasn't expecting that. Wow. I want to see look on a lot of people's faces when it's like, wow. That's the Texas A&M that we were all waiting to see. That's the breakout moment that we were waiting to see. I promise you that. I promise you that. I promise you that. I promise you that. I'm not perfect, so my predictions can be wrong. I'm not perfect. I didn't say that. I didn't say I was perfect at the end of the day. But I have confidence in what I just told you. I have strong confidence in what I just told you. Put that on your mind. Think about that. Once again, this is Homemade Podcast Sports. This is your host, J Pops. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I just wanted to bring you guys a perspective on that. Please, guys, follow me on Facebook at hashtag Homemade Podcast Sports. Also follow me on Instagram at jpops2020 and also on Twitter at jpops05. Once again, it's the Homemade Podcast Sports. Please, guys, hit that subscribe button below. Leave all your comments on what you guys think. Give me what you guys think. Give me your analysis. It's opinions. Give me your opinion. Whether if it's bad or good. I don't care. But be respectful, please. Please be respectful. Once again, it's Homemade Podcast Sports. Hashtag Giggle Maggies. And thank you guys for tuning in to the hashtag Homemade Podcast Sports. Please, guys, subscribe to the YouTube page and also follow me on Twitter at jpops, on Instagram at jpops, and also on Facebook at hashtag Homemade Podcast Sports. Thank you guys once again. Hashtag Giggle Maggies.